I thought that was frowned upon. One day I'll learn my lesson that filming in parks doesn't always look good because, like, you know, there's like lights behind me and it just doesn't always look great. First, start off by saying the whole point of this vlog is Cody and I got to go to the Kanye West Donda Listening party in Chicago the other day. It was a completely impulse decision. It was completely irresponsible, but we did it and we had an absolute blast doing it. Like, it was so much. The reason this whole thing came about was we were at Cedar Point. It was me, Cody, and my mom. And we were just waiting in line for something, and then we got notifications like Kanye is doing a listening party in Chicago. I live in Indianapolis, so it's like 3 hours away. To convince Cody and my dad to let Cody leave school early. Cody doesn't like leaving school early because he's a very studious student, and my dad's a very responsible parent, so he didn't want Cody leaving school early either. But our two options were Cody leaves school early and we get to park at a train station in a decent neighborhood and get on that train, or Cody didn't leave school early, we meet the train somewhere else down the line, but we would have had to park in Gary. And we wouldn't have gotten back off the train till like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I really didn't feel like walking around Gary at 3 o'clock in the morning. So we finally get into the city. We get there at like 6 o'clock. Gates open at 7, so we had like an hour to kill. I was worried about bringing in my camera. I brought this camera with me. Now I took the tripod off and I took the microphone off, so it was just the camera. But earlier in the day, I called Soldier Field and I asked for their permission to bring in this camera. And they were like, what kind of camera do you have? And I told them what kind of camera I had. And they were like, that should be fine. I was like, am I gonna get stopped at security? And they were like, maybe. I'm gonna make the very dumb decision of attempting to vlog a lot of this while I'm on my one wheel. I eat shit a lot on my one wheel, and I really don't wanna break this camera. But this is by far the best part of the entire story. So originally, Cody and I had very mediocre seats. Like, they weren't great, but they definitely weren't bad. We get up to our seats and we're walking in and there's like a bunch of like caution tape and stuff like around our seats, and I was like, where do we go to get to our seats? And there's just like this lonely employee sitting over in the corner. Hi. Oh, thank you. She told me she liked my scooter. It just made my day. So there's this lonely employee just sitting in the corner of like the section where our seats were supposed to be, and we were like, hey, how do we get to our seats? And she was like, don't tell anybody, but do you guys want better seats for free? I was like, yeah. So we were like, sure, couldn't be worse than the seats we already had. She moved us to the best seats in the entire stadium. Like, there were like music YouTubers and stuff there, and they were in the same section that we were, like 4 rows in front of us. It was absolutely insane. So here's our seats before we got upgraded, and here's our seats after we got upgraded. So here's just some clips to show you how great of seats that we got. We didn't realize that the show was about to end, so we left like 2 minutes early because we were gonna miss our train. We made it back to the train station at like 1:30. We got back to my car at 3, drove 2.5 hours with a 30-minute pit stop, got back home at 6. Cody had to leave for school at 7:30. So it was a very eventful day.